grave stele, made of Pentelic marble, found in 1870 in the ancient cemetery of the Kerameikos. An Athenian lady seated on a chair, her feet resting on a footstool, looks at a piece of jewelry held in her raised right hand, originally rendered in paint.
End of the 5th century BCE, the end of the very brief period that we call the High Classical moment, there was a resurgence of funerary sculpture in Athens.
In fact, we're standing in a room in the National Archaeological Museum in Athens that's filled with grave markers, most of them in the form of what art historians call stele, or upright slabs decorated with relief sculptures.
Not so different from what we in the modern world would recognize as a gravestone.
Exactly. Interestingly, there was a disappearance of this type of monument during that High Classical moment, and then we see it reappear.
Well, what we do have in the High Classical moment is most of the great sculptors working on the sculptural program of the Parthenon and the other buildings of the Acropolis, but we see private sculpture begin to reemerge, that is, sculpture that's not part of a program of the state.
Exactly, and before the Classical period, in the Archaic period, there were horoi and porei, the male and female figures that were set up by the elite Greek families as funerary markers. But during the period of democracy in Athens, the state was primary and not wealthy families.
You see this resurgence especially in the cemeteries just outside of the city gates of Athens.
And that's where this particular sculpture was found, which is called the grave stele of Hegeso. Hegeso is the woman who is shown seated, opening a box of jewelry presented to her by her servant and examining a necklace, which is no longer there, but which was once represented.